Yo, yo, let's fucking get it, bro. This is the start of the standard. And if you can't tell, I'm fucking excited, bro, because I finally get to spill my mind into something useful. Not for me, but for other people, bro. And I've got a lot on my mind, but let's get into this shit. This is the start, and I've named this playlist the standard because I'm gonna be covering everything. I'm gonna be covering everything, and I need to hold myself accountable to this shit because I'm gonna be covering, the basics to advanced concepts. So no matter what level you're on, no matter whether you're a complete beginner, whether you're at this shit for a couple months or a year or so, you're gonna benefit from this shit in some type of way. And I can't fucking wait to get this shit popping, bro. I'm trying to do it as soon as possible. But another reason why I'm so excited is because once you're in this shit, you're kind of in it for the long run. And if you've already been training for about a few months or a long time, you kind of know what I'm gonna say, but or know what I'm saying. But if you're a complete beginner, I'm talking to you mainly. But once you're in this shit, there's no going back, bro, because once you're in it, you're just gonna increase your market experience. You're gonna increase your time, your days, your hours in this shit. And once you kind of look back at your progress, you don't want to go back. You don't want to stop. And that's why I love trading so much, bro. It's down to you. It's you versus you. You're accountable for how successful you're going to become in this shit, in this space. And yeah. And with the standard, I'm just going to set a clear road. So, when it does eventually get to the point where it is you versus you, you're not going to have me. Sorry if I, broke you a bit. You're not going to always have me here or a mentor. It's going to be you versus you eventually. So when it does get to that point, whatever, you come across, whatever phases you're not going to be phased. You're going to have that clear roadmap to say, yeah, I know what to do here. Yes, I know what to do at this. You're not going to be asking how. You're not going to be asking why. You know. And this is what I'm trying to achieve from this shit. Teaching you everything that's in here. Because I've got a lot of shit in this mind, bro. And I just want to stump it. I want to spill it. So that kind of leads on to like how long. Actually, no, let's talk about me a bit. Let's talk about me. So I'm 19, right? And let's talk about me in chronological order. So when I first started trading, it was about 2 years ago. So I've been at this for 2 years, and I heavily prioritize psychology, and I stick to this claim. I genuinely think I've got one of the best psychology or best mindset when it comes to trading, bro. Like, I'm just so reinforced because I just spent basically 2 years reading books, watching videos, testing myself, my limits. And so whenever I just do what I need to do, bro. It's as simple as that, but it's easier said than done. And I'm just basically gonna dump from what or how I kind of learned myself, and make it kind of easier. But yeah, it took me 2 years to learn this shit, and most of it was confusion, bro. I was so lost. I was asking questions left, right, center. I had no one to answer for me. It was just me that had to figure it out myself with market experience. And another thing I hope to achieve with this, the standard is to kind of just shorten the time it takes. It took me 2 years. If I can just shorten that time, whether you're a beginner, so it can take you so much quicker, and you're going to be so much more structured. That's what I plan to do for this shit. But in terms of recently, I'm getting consistent payouts. So I would 100% say them 2 years were worth it. I would not want to go back. But I can't lie. There were times where I did want to quit. There were times where I fucking broke down at my desk. I was crying. I was so lost in this shit because, you know, my brain was just overloaded with information. You know, there's so much fucking noise out there, people feeding you fake shit. There's, you know, a small percentage of real people, but most of it is fake shit, scams. And, you know, that's not uncommon in this trading space, but that's the unfortunate reality when it comes to this shit. But I'm hoping just to keep this stuff as raw as possible. I'm not selling you anything, and that's the main reason why I'm making this shit free. But another reason is because I've got so much fucking time and I'm bored, so I might as well put that time into something useful. But anyways, you know, I had to push through them hard times. I had to push through them times where, you know, I said fuck it. You know, there's no going back, bro. There was literally no going back. Like, the amount of time I put into it, even if I felt like giving up, I just couldn't. But maybe you can say that's due to the discipline and the mindset I kind of built, which I hope to kind of dump into this shit and give you guys as well. So that's kind of why this series exists in the first place. You know, people sell dreams instead of structure. So I want to make something as authentic as possible. No fluff, no bluffing, just real shit that's going to help you learn, take you from nothing to something. And if you're already something, take you to fucking next level, take you to Mars. So actually, I want to talk about the decision I made recently as well. So I said I was 19, yeah, and I was supposed to go, well, I did go uni for a year, and I made the decision to drop out and fully focus on trading. But I want to touch on, it wasn't kind of easy making that decision. Obviously, you know, parents, they reinforce education on you like it's, like you need it, like it's essential to live. But what was surprising in my case, I had a long conversation with my dad, and it was kind of him that told me to drop out, because he knew the shit I was achieving through just trading. And his logical way of thinking was, and it does make sense, was what's the point of not putting your all in something? You know, what's the point of spending a little time at uni? What's the point of, you know, not putting your all in trading? If trading is working for you, you're seeing results, you might as well put your best in it, so you have no excuse of not becoming something from it. And all you're doing is lowering your percentage of failure and increasing your percentage of success. So I made that decision to drop out of university. My mouth is dry, bro. Let me take a sip. But yeah, that wasn't even, did I say it was a hard decision? It was kind of easy because I've been at this shit for 2 years. So I always had that at the back of my mind, but he kind of gave me that wake up call. So cool, that kind of covers my situation of me kind of right now. And, you know, I've built my shit from consistency. I built my shit from not gambling, from being consistent. You know, I figured this shit out myself. And this kind of ties into what you can expect from this shit. So I'm planning of doing it like trading video, psychology video, trading video, psychology video. So that way, you know, we build from the absolute basics to advanced concepts. And I don't know how many videos I plan on doing. We'll just keep at this shit. And that's what's gonna hold me accountable, you know. You guys gotta keep at this shit, and I gotta keep at this shit. It's a two-way deal. So once you're in it, you're fucking in it, bro. And once I've done this video, once I've posted this video, I'm fucking in it as well. You know, there's no going back saying, oh, I can't be able to do videos. I'm gonna post videos consistently, and I plan on doing about, I say, 4 or 5 videos every 2 weeks. We'll see though, because the reason I say that is because most are gonna have multiple parts, so it won't even be 5 videos. It'll probably be like 9 or 8 or something like that. But we'll see in it. We'll see what the future holds. But what's certain for now is I'm gonna structure it like trading video, psychology video, trading video, psychology video. if I could, I would have a whole other psychology, standard or playlist, but I'm gonna do it like one by one because it's just better. It looks better structurally. But I'm not gonna talk about this, right now. But psychology is so important, bro. I spent most of my 2 years, I said, working on my psychology, better in my mindset, and it's helped me so much in my trading. Because if you have a weak mind, it's gonna show in your trading, and you're gonna be shit. You're not gonna make it. If you have a weak mind, the market's gonna fucking read that shit. Well, it's fucking up and down candle, but metaphorically, the market's gonna read your mind and fucking throw you in the fucking dump, bro. You're gonna be shit at this shit. So I'm gonna focus on building your mindset, changing you. But we'll talk about that in later videos. Let me not get too ahead of myself. But yeah, why I kind of named it the standard as well was because not only am I covering the basics, advanced concepts, I'm giving you like a roadmap, a clear path, as I said before, that's gonna just put you on a roll, bro. So you're gonna have a clear and defined way of making it in this shit. And the standard is about holding yourself to rules that no one else is gonna reinforce. It's you versus you when it comes to this shit. There's no going back. There's no manager telling you you can't do this, you can do that. There's no supervisor. It's you versus you. So if your word to yourself is weak, if you say you're gonna do something but you don't do it, you're gonna be shit at this shit. You're gonna be shit at trading, bro. And you can see already, I'm talking about psychology. Oh, this is the start. I'm talking about psychology already, but it's so important. And you're gonna see throughout this camp, you're gonna see throughout the standard, I'm gonna reinforce psychology so much. I'm even talking about it in the introduction video, but we'll get to that shit, bro. We'll get to that shit. For beginners, I've already said it, but stay at it. For beginners, you're gonna wanna stick. I'm basically your mentor. If you stick with me, I'm your mentor. You're gonna want to stick with one mentor. You're gonna stick with one guy, because in this shit, when you learn a strategy, you're not gonna want to strategy hop. You're gonna want to stick to one person's way of thinking, and at the end of the day, all I'm doing is just dumping my way of thinking to how I became successful in this trading shit. There's other people that may have their own structure, but I've got my own. So you can't really mix someone else's structure with mine. You have to stick with one person. So for beginners, I advise, if it's not with me, if it's with someone else, stick with someone, only one person. That's my advice for beginners, because you can't be mixing other people's way of thinking, other people's concepts, or other people's mindsets. You get what I'm trying to say? I've got my own mindset which I'm trying to implement onto you, in hopes of making you successful in a short amount of time. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video. I think I've touched on everything. I really hope to, everyone that watches this video, I really hope to change a lot of people's lives. And obviously I do hope to better every single person that watches this video. But in reality, not everyone is going to stick to it. In reality, what's the percentage? Only like 99% of traders make it. That statistic has to hold up. Not everyone's going to follow this shit. And it's a shame, because I really think where I am, I strive for perfection. I'm going to make this as perfect as possible. I'm going to make it as chronological, as structured as possible, so you're not asking any questions at the end of this shit. You're gonna benefit from this way in some type of video. But I promise you, if you really stick to this shit, you're gonna be ahead of 99% of people. And the way I'm making this shit is I'm approaching it in the way where I'm doing it for myself. I'm kind of thinking what me 2 years ago would have wanted, because I was lost. I was asking so many questions, bro. I had no direction. This video is for like past me who was fucking lost, who fucking just had no direction, had to figure it out for himself. So I'm trying to replicate it so you're not in that same position. You've got some sense of direction, and you're getting genuine value, bro. That's the way I'm approaching this shit. And I really ask you to treat this like a mentorship, not just videos that you watch here and there. Treat this shit, hold yourself accountable for this shit. I'm holding myself accountable. Hold yourself accountable as well. Because this shit isn't anything to play about with. And you're gonna be at this shit for a long time. I can tell you that. This ain't a get rich quick scheme, bro. Forex trading is not a get rich quick scheme. So you're gonna put time into this shit, and it's gonna take time for you to see results. So what's the point of, putting effort on some days but not putting effort on some days? You put effort on every single day. Watch the videos, do the shit I ask you to do, and from there you can only be great. That's what I fucking ask you to do. Don't waste your time at this shit. Make use of your time. And another reason why I'm starting this shit, I'm making use of my time. I'm not just chilling in bed fucking bashing, bro. I'm fucking handing out videos, helping people become something that they want to be. And even myself, I'm getting better and better and better at this shit. I'm scaling, I'm getting bigger payouts, I'm passing more funded accounts. So we're gonna grow from this shit either way, bro. Me and you, we're gonna grow. But anyway, I think I've covered anything. This is the beginning, not the end. But yeah, next video, principle 2, and we'll start with the basics, and from there we'll go trading video, psychology video, trading video, psychology video. But this pretty much signs off the start. So from here, bro, let's just start building, bro. Let's fucking get it, bro. Let's get it.